Today we're talking about um, being able to accept correction. Like, when's the last time someone corrected you, and then how did you handle that? The last time someone corrected you, and how did you handle it? We talk about being able to accept criticism, and sometimes I'm talking about me, look at it as judgment, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't. So I want to just allow you the space to think about how you accept criticism. I'm not talking about how you dismiss it or how you push it away or how you discount the person who is given the message, the feedback to you, right? Because feedback is good, and also this could be a way for you to take a look at your emotional intelligence, also, and what triggers you, to react a certain way. And sometimes we may overreact. Sometimes I do. I'm just saying. When I say we, I mean me, right? So my name is Angela Odom, Angela M. Odom, and I'm the host of the Better You Leadership Podcast, the founder of the Better You Project. I teach women how to lead confidently, right? And so that's what we're doing today is just a discussion. We're having a discussion about accepting correction, being corrected. And sometimes for me, it is the messenger, and sometimes it is the tone of the message. And oh, by the way, let me just give you a few examples. So I have been losing the same 20 pounds for years. Like I lose them and gain them back. They just keep chasing me down, these 20 pounds, right? Used to be 5 pounds, now it's like 20 pounds. But anyway, so I got myself into a wellness center. It's an amazing place, right? They have everything you would need to physically and really emotional too. It helps you to get yourself physically well. They have the personal trainers, they have a small group instruction, and of course, all of the equipment is state of the art. You can, whatever it is you need to do, then they have it available for you. So I um, am in a four week um, program, and it's 2 days a week, and it's a group workout session, right? So we're talking about correction, accepting correction. And I thought I'd share this experience with you. So if you're able to relate, then you might say, oh, let me reflect, because that's what leaders do, think, right? Let me reflect on how I accept correction. So there's five ladies, right? Five ladies in this 4 week program, and really they're teaching us how to do the exercises correctly. We get a really good workout, and then we move from space to space inside of the facility. Each week we focus on one set of equipment, right? So anyway, so last week, which would have been the second full week, last week, I think it was last Monday, one of the ladies said to me, you should be lifting, you should have more weight on that machine. We were doing the leg press, right? The leg press. And let me just tell you, so she is probably, um, she makes two of me as far as body size, right? She makes two of me as far as body size. And she is the trainer, the coach that we have, is giving her, as well as all of us, instruction on how to sit up and hold, which position to hold the machine, where our legs should be, all those kind of things, as we are learning, because we're all learning, right? Regardless of what your experience might be, or what you might have done 10, 20 years ago. Like, this is a condition we're in right now, all together learning. And so anyway, so then she told me I should have more weight on one of the machines I was on. I think it was a leg press. And then maybe before we left, she told me that I should do more reps, right? So it's a certain amount of weight, and then you would do that particular exercise for a certain number of times, right? Which is the reps. So the weight, the reps, and whatever. So anyway, so I said to her, you should mind your own business, right? Like I wasn't hearing it. I wasn't receptive to it. I did not want to hear it, right? So what am I saying to you right now? I'm telling you that we're talking about accepting being corrected, right? Being corrected. So she said to me, you should have more weight on the machine. You should do more reps. Two separate instances. So I said, you should mind your own business. I smiled, she smiled, right? I smiled, she smiled. But this is about being able to accept correction. And as she said it, I judged because, as I said, her body size is two of me, right? Would be two of me. And I'm not being mean, I'm just telling you. And so she was saying it as if previously, a decade or two ago, she may have known how to work through this equipment, operate their equipment. So I pushed back, like, you're not even an instructor, right? So how do we accept correction? That's what we're talking about today. And the truth is, what she said was true. I should have, and I did. The next rotation, I did put more weight on the leg press, and I actually went from 12 reps to 15 reps. But in that moment, I'm like, yeah, you should probably just mind your own business. Like, who are you talking to? Why are you talking to me? Let's all focus on our own stuff, right? And so that's what I had to reflect on. And of course, whether I was even open to correction. And then when the instructor um, was telling me, I was lifting, I don't even know the name of the machine, quite frankly, but I was actually pulling the weight down, pulling it down, was working my butt off. And the instructor says, your arms are going below 90 degrees. Hold them like this. And of course, I was open to it. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Is it like this? Okay, got it. So I know that I can accept correction, be corrected, be criticized by people I hold in high esteem. But guess what? The message I got, the lesson I got, the revelation I got is regardless of the messenger and their tone, right? Regardless of the messenger and their tone, um, the message itself can still be helpful. The message itself could still be good. The message itself could still be utilized. But except, so I give you that example, right? So for you, if you are someone who is used to um, correcting, you are used to telling people what to do, you're used to, being the center of attention, right? And someone says, hey, why don't you stand um, with your head turned to the right because you have people on this side of the stage and this side of the stage so that they might get your attention also. You're being corrected. And so how might you receive that? So I'm not here to tell you about, accepting criticism, and what that leads to, blah, blah, blah. I'm here to bring it to your awareness that regardless of the messenger, I want you to do a few things, and I'm going to go over that with you. So my name is Angela M. Odom. I'm the founder of the Better You Project brand and the host of the Better You Leadership podcast. And so I teach women how to lead confidently. And what I know for sure is nothing significant is done alone. Nothing. And so you might have your feelings hurt. You may have your panties in a wad. You might be someone who is not open to other people's feedback, but you want feedback. You want people to receive yours, right? So, and sometimes people are mean and nasty, and sometimes they are judgmental. And And sometimes they got the nose all up in the air where if they bend back too far, bend the head back too far, they gotta drown when it rains, right? Because their head's all in the air because they're arrogant. And when they're talking to you, they might be talking down to you as if you are not on their level. And yet, and still, I want you to do a few things, right? So that you, when you are receiving um, feedback or correction or criticism, first thing is just stop your first reaction. Just stop it. Your first reaction. It's going to take about a second because it took me about a second when the lady was telling me that I should have more weight, add more weight to the machine I was working on. And then the second time when she said that I should be doing more reps, um, I had to halt, just stop for a second before so words came out of my mouth because I know my face shows my feelings, right? And so I had to stop because my first thing is we're all here together learning in this mode. Why are you even talking to me? Right? Why are you even talking to me? Why don't you focus on your workout? Right? But then I had to stop. My first reaction was a mouth off. I was like, okay, Angie, that's not good. So I'm understanding what's triggering me because that's what leaders do. We reflect, we think, right? And so I'm all about learning from all these different situations so that I might be a better person, right? So stop your first reaction, whatever that might be. At the first sign of criticism, just before you do anything, just shut your big old mouth, take a deep breath, or just pause for a second. Um, and so that 1 second might seem insignificant. It might because it's just going to happen just that quick. But it gives your brain enough time to process the situation, right? And sometimes people deserve a good cussing, right? But what does that do in the long run? In the long run, what does that do? So just know the first thing you want to do is stop your first reaction. Stop it. And then you want to remember the benefit of getting feedback. You have a few minutes to just remind yourself, like, hold up, it could be constructive criticism. It could be just someone who is being petty or nasty, and yet the message might still apply to you. So we want to be able to improve our skills. We want our work products to be, fantastic, and we want to have good relationships. There are some people that I know exist in the world, and I don't ever uh, have a need or feel a need to talk to them or to hang out with them or engage with them. But then again, there's still you have to get the work done. So you still want to have, good positive relationships. Like we're not friends. We're not going out to, to have both of us enjoy our favorite beverage, and yet and still, they might be able to help you grow in a certain way, right? So, so try and curtail your reaction so that you can remember the benefit of getting feedback. And you kind of have some snooty peers, and you're going to have people that you don't fully respect, people you don't even like, right? You don't like their behavior, and yet and still, just think about the benefit of getting the feedback, right? It also tells you a lot about the person and the way to deliver it and when they deliver it. If it's in front of a whole group of people, they want to shoot you down. So you're learning about them as an individual. They're projecting, right? And then number three, you want to listen for understanding. So you avoided that initial reaction, the trigger, right? What you want to just blast something out with your face, or you might just ignore them altogether, or whatever, however you might, or you might burst out with some magical words that they would not appreciate. So your brain is actually working because you've stopped that initial uh, feedback, right? And you've recalled all of the benefits. So good job on that. And now you are ready to engage in a productive dialogue. And sometimes, even if you're not, uh, it's not a long drawn out conversation. It could be like, oh, okay, God, I didn't think of that, or I didn't consider that, or It could be, don't ever talk to me like that again. It could be any of those things, but you have the opportunity to think for a second without just reacting in a very negative way, right? So you want to analyze the situation. You could say thank you. That would be another thing, after you thought about this thing. Oh, okay, thanks, appreciate it, got it. Or just acknowledge it like the head. You can do like a head nod, got it. Or okay, or you could just say, what I said earlier. Yeah, you should probably just mind your own business. But you have a time, you're deliberate in your feedback. You can actually ask questions to deconstruct the feedback, right? You can ask questions. You can say, I was a little frustrated, but you mind just telling me in the meeting or in, whatever the situation might be, what did you actually observe? What did you see? You could just acknowledge the feedback and you could say, you were right. I, I did that. Yeah, I did cut you off. You're right. Okay, got it. I apologize. You could also understand, uh, like, do you notice me doing it a lot, or whatever. Sometimes, people might um, respond to you in a way that you are able to hear them, right? Or they respond in a way that you don't want to talk to them. So in that moment, just be able to think about how you want to react. And it might turn out that even though the tone and the manner and the environment in which they corrected you, you did not appreciate, and yet and still the message is still good for you. And so that is something I want you to think. So the first thing is leaders think, right? Leaders are growing their emotional intelligence day by day. So that's what I want for you to be able to think through the scenario and what's going on. And so I have just talked to you about, you know, me, giving you an example of someone who was correcting me, who I did not appreciate it, quite frankly, right? And I was judging them based on what I physically saw and our actual environment, our situation at that time. We were all in the learning mode, right? We still are. Got I think 2 more weeks in this program. So um, my first reaction was to say, "Hey, you should just mind your own business." And then I had to think about it. She's actually right. So I said thank you as a follow up. Um, so it is all good. So just think through what's going on. And so I just want to close that out and let you know that, thank you for being here at listening to the Better You Leadership podcast week after week, week after week. We really appreciate you. So I'm going to be in two different locations speaking over the next few weeks, and I'm going to give you opportunity to show up. We are going to. I'm going to be at the Come and Recharge. The title is Come and Recharge with the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. This is the VA, the Veterans Administration program. They're celebrating Women's Equality Day and Black Business Month, and they're hosting a virtual power hour, and it's on Thursday, August 25th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And so you will, it's on WebEx, right? This is a virtual event. It's on WebEx. And I want to make sure I show you let me see if I can get the flyer so you can see that. But you can just go to let me make sure I get this straight. Hold on. I got you. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So it's Thursday, August 25th, and it's at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And again, that's on WebEx. And so what you would do, if you don't see the QR code and all that kind of stuff, you go to VA, and that's Veterans Administration, va.gov/OSDBU. And that is the Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. So go to va.gov/OSDBU. OSDBU. And you can go ahead and register right now. It's free. It's a free event. Go ahead and register for that. And there'll be 3 of us on a panel. And I'm looking forward to that event. So I wanted to make sure I invited you to that. And also wanted to make sure I invite you. I'm going to be at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Fort Jackson, South Carolina, coming up here on um, August 30th. August 30th, I'll be at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and that's going to be at 11:30 to 1 p.m. And that's an in-person event. We're going to be at the NCO Club. The topic I'm speaking to the female mentoring. Let me make sure I get the right name. Female mentoring and morale program. Female mentoring and morale program on Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and that's at the NCO Club, 11:30 to 1. We're doing lunch. You're going to pay when you get there. Is it $12 for the lunch? So the topic is learn how, when, and why leaders check in with their teammates to foster good relationships, right? So we're checking in. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about checking in. And so you can come to that in person. Of course, that means you have to be able to get onto the installation, come to the NCO Club. So the people who are have some sort of military affiliation, then you already know what to do. So the people that are in that Columbia, South Carolina area, I look forward to seeing you at the NCO Club on August 30th. And then you can also make sure you uh, register for the WebEx event with the VA Office of Small Disadvantaged Business Utilization on August 25th through 11 a.m. For that panel. So I'm looking forward to participating in those events and love to see some of the Better You community show up on WebEx on August 25th and in Fort Jackson on August 30th. And we'll see you there, and I'll be excited about that experience. So make sure for the Better You Leadership podcast that you have subscribed, right? You have subscribed to the podcast, and go ahead and give me a rating of 5. Rating of 5. Don't be going messing around with some 4, 3, 2, 1 foolishness, right? Because this is really good information. And where is he going to get this practical tips, techniques, and tools to help you become a better leader, to help you expand your leadership capacity, to help you lead confidently? All right. With that said, you all make it a great day. And if you can't make it great, make it wonderful. All right. Take care.